Horror's Halloween. And then she goes, OMG, yes, I love Higurashi series. And then she comes back and says, does Hellsing count as horror series? I forget. Guys, if it's, I don't know, to me, if it's draped in that whole, I guess, backdrop, if it's draped up and jeweled out in, you know, horror and classic monsters and that sort of thing, I would classify that as, at the very least, as a horror series, because you don't classify monsters as thrillers, do you? You don't classify monsters as suspense. That's horror. So something like Hellsing, I would definitely count that as a horror series. Marcellus Cody comes back and says, I want to give you all here at 3AL the reason why it's so good. And I guess he is referring to Higurashi. And he says, the story was compacted into 2 seasons. No filler, no unnecessary flashbacks, none. Just you, the story, and wonder of what is coming next. Oh, and the flow from light to dark was impeccable. He said impeccable. Yeah, I saw Higurashi a while back when I was at Otakast. I think we talked about it. When birds cry, cry, cry. But yeah, very interesting series in terms of being freaky and not ever wanting to revisit that again. I can understand why people like it though. All right, so Screen Visions Radio coming to a close. I believe we've got room for one more song. And again, guys, next week we are talking about Wicked City. And of course, for future marathons on the show, I'm going to post to the group to see if anybody in 3AL wants us to talk about a specific movie, you know, a movie in particular that we should go back and revisit. And, you know, the whole point of these marathons is I want to introduce movies that, you know, that the typical anime fan may be aware of, but people just now getting into the medium will be like, what's that? Perfect Blue. What? It's a psychological thriller, but it's anime. Let me check that out. So, you know, there are certain things like Vampire Hunter D was one I posted in a few groups. People were like, what is Vampire Hunter D? I'm like, wow, I need to bring this to the forefront at least for a week so you guys can know what this is. And so that's what I'm trying to do, at least this year with the October monster movie marathon. All right, so I appreciate you guys listening to the show. We'll be back next week with Wicked City along with your feedback, 3AL. And let's go ahead and enjoy this song break, and I will catch you guys next week. I'm Desmond Childs, and look, I bet you, I wish I could have seen Ryan's face. He was probably like, no, nah, I didn't forget it. I told you guys, we have 2 more things to bring to the table in terms of this edition, this Halloween-inspired edition of Screen Vision's movie blog. And we will get to those 2 things after the break. Back in a second. What up, guys? I'm Desmond Childs from Screen Visions Radio. Listen, you want to get on the radio, you want your voice to be heard, just check us out, man. 3AL, I'm speaking specifically to you. All right? Talking specifically to you. So, you guys want to get on the radio, you want to be heard. I'm repeating myself now. It's beginning to see now. Listen, let me know. Let us know. I am That's the 3AL. Send a personal message to That's the O'Dane Osborne. You know, there are a number of people getting into this movement, this online radio movement we got going on with 3AL, African American anime lovers. We've got video shows in the works. We've got more radio shows in the works. We've got playthroughs in the works. We've got all kind of stuff in the works, man. You guys interested in doing something like that, let us know. I'll be posting in the group, you know, periodically to kind of gauge who out there is still wanting to hop on this train and contribute something to the group to keep us active, keep us healthy. We don't want to be that fat group that's like, listen, guys, I bet y'all Iron Man would beat up Bane. You know why? Because Iron Man can travel through time and Bane is just real strong and da-da-da-da-da. We don't want to get fat and lazy. We want to keep the group active. Let's do that. This is one of the ways we can do that. So signing off, I'm Desmond Childs. You want to get into radio? Drop me a line. And now, back to my regular show. Screen Visions Radio, I'm Desmond Childs. Okay, guys, so we have a very, very interesting story coming to us from the group 3AL. I asked the group for some, how do you say, scary stories, weird encounters, that sort of thing. You know what I'm saying? That sort of thing. And I got a few responses, one serious one, and kind of wanted to get into that a little bit. And I mentioned this earlier in the show about Ryan Kosur and a song he brought up, Kosur, Koseye, I don't know how to say your last name. Dude, I am sorry. But what you brought to the table is very intriguing, to say the least, in a horrifying way. I won't be able to sleep, and I have to get up at 4 a.m. Thank you. Also, Sean Darren Brown Jr. gave us a story to share to the group, and appreciate it, Mr. Sean Darren Brown Jr. Now, I'm going to edit it for swearing, because this is a PG-12 show, and I've been doing it that way for nearly 3-4 years now. Alright, so he says, I went to play humans vs. zombies like a fool in this abandoned psychiatric ward called Rosewood a few years back. That place was messed up. It was like the people who stayed there just upped and left the building on a whim. It was wheelchairs and medical beds all in the hallways and stuff. I guess other teenagers or kids had been coming there because it was a pentagram spray painted all over the place. At one point, I got separated from my friends while we were getting chased, and I hid in this padded room. There was only one way in, and I heard something behind me. In my mind, I kept telling myself that it was an animal that snuck in there. That makes me feel better, LOL. I hauled my butt out of the room, and as I was leaving the room, I saw other players turning the corner, pointing their flashlights at me. I was terrified. I screamed, I'm human! I'm human! I swear to God, I'm human! And slipped and fell into a pile of trash. They all laughed at me, but I didn't care. I wasn't alone anymore. At that point, I was ready to go. That night sucked so much butt because my friend said that it was cool and people do this kind of stuff all the time. And the dang police came. Imagine about 15 to 20 college kids running, scrambling around, trying not to get caught and arrested. I will never ever do anything like that again. Appreciate it, Mr. Sean Darren Brown Jr. He also gives more background on this place, Rosewood. He says, this place was nuts. Check this out. Formerly known as the Asylum and Training School for the Feeble-Minded, Rosewood State Training School, Rosewood State Hospital, and currently Rosewood Center. This abandoned mental hospital is located in Owings Mills, Maryland. Established in 1888 as the Asylum and the Training School for the Feeble-Minded, it became known as Rosewood State Training School from 1912 to 1961. In 1961, the school became the Rosewood State Hospital and finally renamed to Rosewood Center when the Departments of Health and Mental Hygiene merged in 1969. Now, here's, I guess, the whole thing. It says in January 2008, after several complaints, some of which detailed patient abuse and neglect, Maryland's governor ordered the facility closed within 18 months. Yeah, that particular case, I'm just kind of like, nah. I mean, something may have happened there. I mean, not may have. I'm sure things have happened there. Is that kind of thing, I assume that kind of thing is classified in terms of it being leaked out to the public. Like, guys, did you hear about the nutcase that slaughtered the whole staff? I don't think that is something that they would report in the news. Necessarily. I really don't know, because in the scary movies they're always just like, we can't let anybody know about this. I'm like, dude, that's why y'all all get murdered, because you decide, like, that to me, that is the dumbest point of logic in horror movies, where it's like, okay, we want to get away, but let's not call anybody because this is so dangerous that the knowledge of it happening would just devastate whoever we told. Or for some reason, I'm so clumsy when I'm scared that if I am trying to tell somebody, I fumble the phone 3 or 4 times, drop it at my feet, and I'm too scared to pick it up because the monster is staring at me menacingly. Anyway, off track a little bit. Yeah, the whole abandoned asylums in general, that really isn't all that scary to me. I can see how it would be because, I mean, listen, if it was Gotham's, asylum, and all the characters that be up in there, yeah, that'd be pretty scary. Imagine having to spend 1 week in Gotham Asylum. Or Arkham Asylum, I'm sorry, not Gotham Asylum. Arkham Asylum. Having to spend 1 week up in there with Joker and all his buddies and his pals and Two-Face looking at you crazy. And you got Poison Ivy blowing green, smoke rings because she just does that. That sort of thing is mildly horrifying to think about and consider. Yeah, guys, odacastradio@gmail.com. The rest of the month, wanting to hear your horror stories that you've heard, urban legends, whatever you guys can come up with. I may pose this question again to the group after I've done the show and, save up some of the responses for the next week's program. Again, the Screen Visions Radio is wrapping up, but first, Ryan has got something special for you. It's his buddy Hypno, and he wants to sing you a song. Take it away, Hypno.
Come, little children, come with me. Safe and happy you will be. Away from home, now let us run. With Hypno you'll have so much fun. Oh, little children, please don't cry. Hypno wouldn't hurt to fly. Be free to frolic, free to play. Come with me to our cave to stay. Oh, little children, please don't squirm. These ropes I know will hold you firm. Now look to me, the pendant calls. Back and forth your eyelids fall. Oh, little children, you cannot leave. For you, your families will grieve. Mine's unraveling at the seams, allowing me to haunt their dreams. Do not wail and do not weep. It's time for you to go to sleep. Little children, you were not clever. Now you'll stay with me forever.
Oh my God, what was that? What has been heard cannot be unheard, unfortunately. This is Screen Visions Radio. I'm Desmond Childs. Ryan, you owe me one. Yeah, guys, that was Hypno. The Pokemon, I always wondered about that in terms of the Pokemon voices, if we could actually hear them speak, how condescending and evil they would actually be towards people. Some of those ghosts and ghoul Pokemon, some of the way some of them operate, and you just kind of read the bios, you're like, oh my God, why does this thing exist? Like, that is horrible. If anybody has any examples of Pokemons that fit that bill, I cannot think of any off the top of my head. I'm sure a few of you guys will. Hey, that rhymed. But yeah, man, interesting, creepy. In terms of creepypasta, my favorite is always the Ash is in a coma. Ash is supposed to be red, but he gets in a coma, and his dreams are the television series Pokemon that we see. Not Pokemon Origins, but the original series that we see. And that goes into why he never ages, why Pikachu has never evolved, that sort of thing. Which is, and then also people were saying, well, what about all the new Pokemon you see? And I guess the whole theory was the Pokemon you see become more strange and bizarre in the way that they look and, interact with humans and that sort of thing, and it becomes more far-fetched because it is a child's dream, and it's really hard for us to sort of interpret where these creatures come from, their origin, their true purpose, that sort of thing. I was like, oh, that's an interesting theory. Ash being in a coma, it's kind of sad. But there's also a lot of cartoon characters being in coma theories for their cartoon shows, which I wouldn't recommend reading all those because you will become depressed. Alright guys, Screen Visions Radio wrapping up. Thank you for listening. Next week it's Wicked City on our Monster Movie Marathon, along with your favorite Japan, Korean, just regular all-out Asian music for you to jam to, doing your laundry, whatever. Alright, I'm catching you guys next week.
Screen Divisions Radio and Nodacast Network affiliate. Games, movies, life. Hey kid. What inspires you?